You know, I've been really hopeful that I was never again going to have to mention the name Sherri Tenpenny to you. It's a horrible name, not on principle, but because of who Sherri Tenpenny is. You may or may not remember that Sherri Tenpenny is this anti-vaccine osteopathic physician who believes that vaccines cause autism, who previously made all sorts of wild statements about COVID and about vaccination. She is back, and she is now saying that vaccinating children, which is the next phase of getting out of this pandemic, we got to get everybody vaccinated, or as close to everybody as possible. We now can vaccinate 5 to 11-year-olds with the Pfizer vaccine. Dr. Tenpenny is back saying that's like a late-term abortion. If you give a vaccine to a kid, it's like a really, really, really late-term abortion. Now, as a reminder, this is from a few months ago. Here is Sherri Tenpenny saying that we really shouldn't be afraid of COVID, but she is spreading all sorts of horrible lies about the vaccines to make people afraid. Remember this? This was months ago. Take a look.
Thinking if you can think of any other product in any other industry that has killed more than 5,000 people stated in the VAERS database, and even if only half of those are true, 2,500 deaths in 6 months of use, and it's still full court press, full steam ahead. So it makes one have to wonder why. Why are we still doing this? Why are we putting people into nursing homes like that happened in New York and put people with known COVID into place?
Yeah. Tenpenny also promotes conspiracies about 5G cell phone networks and more. Let's take a listen to that.
And some of the information that I think had been discussed in your podcast related to EMF frequencies.
That was a thought.
And
it was because right now we're all kind of hypothesizing. I mean, what is it that's actually being transmitted that's causing all of these things? Is it a combination of the protein, which now we're finding has a metal attached to it? I'm sure you've seen the pictures all over the internet of people who've had these shots and now they're magnetized. They can put a key on their forehead, it sticks. They can put spoons and forks all over them and they can stick. Because now we think that there's a metal piece to that. There's been people who've long suspected that there was some sort of an interface, yet to be defined, an interface between what's being injected in these shots and all of the 5G towers. Not proven yet, but we're trying to figure out what is it that's being transmitted to these unvaccinated people.
So this is someone who has made now, I don't know about a career, but she's made herself quite prominent as a sort of a darling of the anti-vaccine and conspiracy movement. She's been against masks, even though we have scientific peer-reviewed studies about the effectiveness of masks. She's against vaccines. She says the vaccines can kill you. They can cause autoimmune disease, that some people will die from the vaccine directly and others are just going to get really, really sick and get long-term diseases, maybe 42 days out, maybe a year out, etc. On and on and on. Sperm quality claims, etc. So now she has resurfaced at this. How many people that we have covered ended up at this very place, the Re-Awaken America rally over the weekend in San Antonio? Michael Flynn was there. I think Mike Pillow was there. Just so many people that we follow were at this absolutely horrible event. Right-wing pastor John Hagee did the event at the Cornerstone Church in San Antonio, Texas. Here is Tenpenny saying a lot of crazy things, dangerous things, including that giving a kid a vaccine is like an abortion.
People have got to start saying to their bosses who are requiring them to get tested if they don't get a shot, that you need to start saying to them, torture is illegal in the United States of America.
Now, that will not work. The advice that Tenpenny gives will not work. Vaccine requirements are legal. A vaccine isn't torture. You will probably lose your job if you follow Tenpenny's advice.
And you repeatedly testing me for being non-compliant and disobedient is torture.
COVID tests are not torture either. You're going to lose your job if you do what she says.
I think that we're going to be writing that up and we're going to sending it into the EEOC and we're going to start accusing you and these policies of being torture.
Now, the EEOC is the Equal Employment Opportunity Council. I think it's that. Anyway, the idea that if you write to them and say it's torture to test an employee, that the EEOC is going to get involved. It's a waste of time. Everything she says is a waste of time.
Call a spade a spade. And we know that this is murder by injection, right? And you're supposed to give this as sacrificing your children to Balak, to Baal, child sacrifice.
So now, as if it wasn't off the rails before, now they bring in all of this mark of the beast, child sacrifice, weird scriptural stuff.
Being resurged in these final days from the Babylonian mystery schools.
Wait a second. I thought she was here as an osteopathic doctor. What does Baal have to do with that?
Tower of Babel and the descendants of Nimrod. And this is what is happening. Yeah. And if you see anybody participating in this, you need to be challenging them of what they are doing to their spirituality and what they are sacrificing their children to. You know, I had a really good friend who said, you know, we've sacrificed over 60 million unborn babies in abortion. We have multiple states in this country who actually allow late-term abortion. Now we are doing very, 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 very late-term abortion by killing 5-year-olds.
So she is saying, you give a 5-year-old a vaccine, they're going to die. It's like an abortion.
This is happening in America, people. And it's your job to stop everybody you know and wake them up and shove it in their face. And if they defund you off of social media, who cares?
If they defund you off of social media, is this a grifter, or is it a sick woman, or is it both?
Now it's about trying to save unborn babies and pregnant women. It's about they now are actually starting a trial to give these shots to 6-month-olds. This is child sacrifice. This is the resurgence of child sacrifice from the days of the Babylonian mystery schools, as it said in Genesis 6. And what Jesus himself said, that in those final days, it will be like as in the days of Noah. And what were they doing? Child sacrifice? And what else were they doing?
It's funny because, you know, she's presented as this great Dr. Tenpenny, but she flips back and forth between speaking about her supposed medical credentials and knowledge, which are shaky, versus just making religious claims, where then it's like, well, so it's more of like a pastor then. It's not really, what does it really matter that she's Dr. Tenpenny if what she's talking about is Noah and Babylonians and Baal and all of these different things? This is a dangerous woman. I don't exactly know what licensing she's subject to. It should be investigated, and it should be explored whether she actually is worthy of that license. But the question I really continue to come away with is, are we talking about a grifter here, or are we talking about a sick woman? Are we talking about a liar? Are we talking about someone who's confused? What is it really about? I'm curious to hear from you. Your internet activity and data is being observed by a variety of parties. They're selling your information. They're deciding what you can access. Don't let it happen to you. I use Atlas VPN to keep my internet traffic private from ISPs, tech platforms, online marketers, even governments. And Atlas VPN keeps me protected against hackers, people eavesdropping on networks to steal your information. If I turn on Atlas VPN before logging into Netflix, Hulu, or Amazon, I can access streaming content from other countries. I can even watch stuff from Argentina, like soccer. I use Atlas VPN on all of my devices. You install it, you turn it on once, and then you just forget about it and enjoy your privacy. You can read online about why VPNs are so important to use every day. Really something you should have, and Atlas VPN is having a huge Black Friday sale, giving you 86% off. Comes out to like $1.39 a month for a subscription, plus you'll get 3 months free. Just go to atlasv.pn/Pacman. The link is down below.